tonight's top stories. WikiLeaks founder Julian Assange has been sentenced to 50 weeks jail for absconding while on bail when he fled to the Ecuadorian embassy in London in 2012. In a landmark case, Olympic champion Caster Semenya has lost an appeal against rules which will restrict testosterone levels in some female runners. And Venezuela's opposition leader Juan Guaido vows to lead the largest march in the country's history after calling for the military to oust President Nicolas Maduro. Well, lawyers representing about 20 Papuans have launched court action to challenge Indonesia's 50-year incorporation of Papua into its territory. They'll argue the UN-supervised referendum in 1969 was conducted in a way that grossly violated their rights. The vote in favour of Papua being part of Indonesia led to decades of brutal control and hundreds of thousands of deaths. Indonesia correspondent Anne Barker reports from Jakarta.
Phil Arari never dreamt of a day like this. 50 years since a referendum cemented Indonesia's control over Papua, he's come to Indonesia's highest court to challenge that very decision.
It was no act of free choice, act of no choice, act of no choice.
With the Dutch long gone, the 1969 vote was meant to let Papuans choose between Indonesia or independence. But only 1,000 Papuans were selected to take part. All of them chose to remain in Indonesia. And for decades since, Papuans have decried the vote as a sham.
Because it was engineered by the government, totally backed up by the military.
Phil Arari and his lawyers now want the court to acknowledge the referendum was a violation of Papuans' rights and set up a truth commission to publicly expose the wrongs of the past.
It is not a threat to anybody. It's not a threat to the Republic. It is actually will make Indonesia stronger.
Phil Arari supports a second referendum.
That the people should give them the personal right to vote for their political rights in Papua.
But Indonesia has dismissed all their demands, saying the Papua issue is finished and can't be discussed anymore. And whatever the outcome, it's hard to imagine any real change in Papua. Indonesian migrants today outnumber Papuans in many areas and dominate the economy, security forces and positions of power. And after decades of conflict on the ground, Papuans are now struggling with Indonesia's legal system.
Even before the case begins, judges have sent lawyers back to the drawing board and told them to rewrite their submission because it lacks legal clarity. The case has now been adjourned until May 13th. Anne Barker, ABC News, Jakarta.